what have you really found that is really a drive for you to keep doing what you're doing? Because to be honest, I as a content creator as well, I know that it's not easy, to be honest. There are times that you don't want to show up, to be very honest. We just being sincere to ourselves. So what have you really found that is compared to such as gold that you could say that this thing is like a major drive why you are doing this?
I always hear people talk about something is driving. I think I've just gotten used to showing up.
Wow.
So like it's now, if someone employs you to work, whether you feel like or you don't feel like, you're going to go to work. I think I've just got right now. I'm in that space where even if I don't feel like making videos, if I have an idea, I don't even have to feel like. I've just gotten used to showing up, so I don't have a drive per se, or that something is driving me, and I think it's the strength of God, because these are the things that I always pray about: the wisdom of God, the strength of God, those things. So I've gotten used to showing up, and when you show up, like when you're consistent, it just becomes
like a normal way of life.
So,
hey, hello there, how you doing? I welcome you to this episode on CBT Should Be Told podcast. If this is your first time here, you're welcome on this amazing episode. This episode is really packed up. We're going to be discussing about something really amazing, and as you know, I'm your host, Nicholas Williams. So I want to introduce the person here with me, an amazing personality. I don't know how I'm going to do this introduction now, man, because it's a lot. I know some of you already know this person already, but let me just keep it slow, man. Make I no cap too much. So I have here with me Praise Adio. Right?
Yes.
How are you doing, Praise?
I'm fine.
Welcome to my podcast.
Thank you for having me.
For the first time. Like, I just chatted Praise, and Praise was like, don't worry, I'm going to come. I was like, oh wow, like no stress. And I was really happy that you agreed, because I didn't expect it. I thought the time I even chatted you up, we were about rounding up the year. I think it was 31st or so. Then I just chatted out that how far this thing could show. Will you be able to come? And she told me yes. Like, really amazing. But thank you so much.
You're welcome.
It's the glory of the Lord. So today we're going to be discussing something really amazing. We're going to be talking about the creative space. For as many of you who know Praise, you know how to be this the lady on Instagram that just blew up and left all of us in the dark. And we're going to talk about the creative space, intriguing things for people that will need things that people will need to pay attention to, like things that creatives like us out there would need to like face, square root, and all of that. So Praise. I don't even know which question to ask you now, but let me start from how's the whole journey of this whole content creating thing been for you? Like, how did you start? What was the drive? I remember I knew I had a conversation with you earlier, but I didn't want us to like say the full gist, so we can bring it up here. So how did it start for you? How did you know that, okay, this was it? Was it that you were doing, my father, I want a direction for my life? Then you just got it all of a sudden. How was your own story?
Okay. So how did I start?
Yeah.
It was just like I would say to people, I did not know what I was doing was content creation.
Yeah.
So it was just, I got an urge to say things, and I just said them. I just had this urge to, since I was in school, because I went to poly before going to university.
Yeah.
Since I was in poly, that was like I was 16 or so. I would just get the urge to say things. If you check my Facebook page till now, like you see me say things that
of things you said.
I was very opinionated.
Right.
So I'll just say things. But when it was 2020, I just had that urge to make videos, because I felt, because I'd like people to read my stuff the way I talk. So if I send you a message, I would prefer that you read it the way I would say it. So I know that if I'm going to write stuff, I want people to read it in my voice. How would people read it in my voice if they don't know how I talk?
How you talk.
So I had to, let me make videos. Then I can now start writing captions and epistles and maybe blogs. So I started to make videos. So that's one part of how I started content creation. But I think the major part of content creation for me was in 2020, when I realized that a lot of people that we look up to now, they always say stories like I decided to turn my life around, I decided to change, I decided to start reading, or I just said I was going to be great, and here I am today.
Magic.
And they just write it in those books and those movies, and you're like, oh, I'm going to do it too. So I would read those books and be like, I'm also going to be like that. But I would realize that I wasn't consistent. Like it did not happen
What's
to
the
me
process?
that way.
How do you get
there?
there?
Then I realized that the Holy Spirit told me that the books and the movies these motivational books and movies that we read and watch, there's not enough time and space to capture everything that these people went
whole
through.
thing.
So if there are struggles, there are times that this person said I'm going to read, but they didn't read, they went to sleep.
The whole process.
The book cannot capture it. So that was when I decided that I'm going to pull my process online, so that 5 years to come, when a teenager, when a young person sees my page, they can see that there was a time that Praise went on a 1 month break. There was a time that Praise went on a 2 month break. There was a time that Praise posted that I'm supposed to make videos today, but I'll sleep instead.
They'll serve as a track record.
So that was why I decided to start making videos and just document my growth online, because I want someone in years to come to see that it's not all smooth. We have our process and stuff. So
that's really nice to know. So in this same journey, what have you really found that is really a drive for you to keep doing what you're doing? Because to be honest, I, as a content creator as well, I know that it's not easy, to be honest. There are times that you don't want to show up, to be very honest. We just being sincere to ourselves. So what have you really found that is compared to such as gold, that you could say that this thing is like a major drive while you are doing this?
I always hear people talk about something is driving. I think I've just gotten used to showing up.
Wow.
So like it's now, if someone employs you to work, whether you feel like or you don't feel like, you're going to go to work. I think I've just got right now. I'm in that space where even if I don't feel like making videos, if I have an idea, I don't even have to feel like. I've just gotten used to showing up, so I don't have a drive per se, or that something is driving me, and I think it's the strength of God, because these are things that I always pray about: the wisdom of God, the strength of God, those things. So I've gotten used to showing up, and when you show up, like when you're consistent, it just becomes
like a normal way of life.
So I'm not going to say anything is driving me per se, but like I read a part of the Bible, that says that a gift of man will make way for him and stuff like that. I believe that God has given me the ability to speak and do what I do, so that I can make a living out of it. This doesn't apply to everybody, but for me, I'm going to make a living out of talking and doing the things that I do online. And I can't be broke.
Never.
I
can never be broke in my life.
if you know me, you know that I like soft life. If God has given me that, this is the resources that I've given you to make money, to make to earn a living. Why waste it?
Exactly.
So maybe that's a drive, but that's even, I don't even think about that. I've just gotten used to showing up, honestly. So nothing. I don't think anything. I can't say this is the factor. This is one factor why I show up or anything like that. I've just gotten used to that.
I feel like awareness also plays like a huge role. Like when you are aware, like for you now, you are aware that you just have to show up regardless and all of that. Because some people are not even aware, talk less of finding reasons why you want to show up.
And it's respect for yourself and your craft. Like I said earlier, if someone employs you, and even if your boss is a bad person, if the person expects you to be at work by 9, you will show up for that person, even if you don't like that person. So why not just respect yourself? And if you say that I want to be a content creator, just show up. It works for me. I've gotten used to just showing up. So
I feel like I think one of the problems is actually for startups. One of the problems is that when they are just coming up, when they are just starting, it's pretty hard. So because it's not monetized, or they are not seeing the result that they want to see per se in the end, right? It begins to look frustrating. That's the reason why many people don't show up.
I don't know if I should say this thing, but like if you're starting up,
Yeah.
And money is your
Priority.
priority,
Major goal.
and your driving factor.
Yeah.
I don't think that your priorities are set right.
We're not saying money is bad, though.
Of course, I like money, but then if you're starting up, don't make I don't even want to sound like a motivational speaker or anything like
Speak
that.
on.
But I'm talking
Coach,
about
iPraise.
myself, like myself. I don't think that, because I get like DMs online, people asking me about how do I monetize, how do I start making money and stuff and other stuff like that. And you check their page and you're like, you're not focusing on the right things. You should focus on, getting better at your craft, how you talk to people, how you face the camera, just focus on other stuff than focusing on money. If money is your focus, then you might not, you might not be able to show up all the time. I don't know how to say it, but like get your priorities right.
Right.
And money shouldn't
be the focus.
Your priority. For me and people like me, sure. Yeah. Because you can't talk for everybody.
Yeah,
Some
exactly.
Actually need money.
Exactly. So like still speaking about this showing up thing and all of that, I like I said, I feel like major motivation for most startups is because of the monetizing part, right? Making money part and all of that. So I feel like that's one of the major part that really discourages some startups. So I would like to ask you, I know now you don't, it's been said that you don't think like that, but how do you then deal with downtimes as a content creator? Like creative blocks, all of those kind of things. How do you deal with stuffs like that,
How do I do with creative block?
Because I know it's pretty crazy, but how do you deal with it?
I just like
personally.
I just own it. Do you get? Like I said, I've gotten used to showing up. So when my body doesn't want to show up, like when I feel like I'm not in that mental space to now be consistent in my own how I would normally show up. I just allow myself. If you go through my page, you would realize how many times I've said that I'm going on a break, guys. I'm going on a 1 month break, or I'll just leave like that. So I understand that my body wants what it wants, and my brain wants what it wants, right? So when I'm not getting the creative juice, I leave it. I sleep. I will eat. I will watch Netflix. I don't stress it. And when I'm in that, when my creative juice is juicing, I allow myself. But creative blocks, how do I deal with it? I don't stress it. Once I realize that I'm making my videos and my vibe is not giving, or I'm looking tired in my videos, I'm just going to, sorry guys, I'm not going to be on live for like 1 month or something. Bye-bye. I'll go and be watching other creators' videos. I'll be sleeping, taking ice cream, all those things. So I don't stress it. The creative as block.
Amazing. So she just shared how she does handle her own. So I would like to ask you one more thing that really baffled me. I'm sure it's not just me that you baffled. I know you baffled so many other people. I feel like you know my question already.
No, I don't.
So like last year, there came a time that you went offline for about a month. I think it was about a month. Was it a month or more than a month? I think it was almost a month or two or so. Then when you went offline for like a month, we didn't see you. All of a sudden we saw a welcome back message. Oh, I'm back, this and that. And all of a sudden we saw iPraise videos everywhere. Like, bro, how many followers were you on then on Instagram?
2,000 something.
2,000 something. Yes, I thought as much. So she was like on 2,000 something. Then all of a sudden we started seeing 5K. Thank you 5K followers. Thank you 7K followers. Thank you 10K. Till we got to 14K. And I was wondering, how did this girl do it? In my mind, I should not lie. I thought maybe she went to go and do one kind retreat. I didn't say she don't go pray or something.
From somewhere.
What did she do? Because even my manager, that was one of the things that actually made him to start following you, right? He was like, this girl, who be this girl? Because guys, she just rose all of a sudden and all of that. And that actually made us to go and check your history. It made us to go and check back on what you've been doing in the past. But my question here is, how did you handle that moment? Did it look like a surprise to you? Were you shocked at it, or were you prepared for it and stuff like that?
I wasn't prepared for it. I'm not going to say that I knew that was going to happen. I think it was just God's time. like God was just ready for me or something like that. And how did I handle it? I started to pay more attention to people that have been there before me, right? So I know that there are content creators that have been there, you know, they have a lot of followers and stuff like that. Before, when I was in like 2,000 followers, it was just something that, okay, I just want to come and post videos online. But now I was not very intentional. I think that was how I handled. I was not very intentional that, okay, so it means that I'm actually saying things that people want to hear, and I cannot afford to mess up. I can't afford to, you know, just mislead people. So I started to pay attention to people, you know, how do they, I just started to pay attention to people that were, you know, sort of above me, or you know, stuff like that. That was how I handled it. Like I said, I don't know if you've been watching this video, you should know that I don't like stress things. So actually, when I saw that I was blowing, I was like, thank you, Jesus. So I will celebrate it. 2K followers, 3K followers. I just kept doing my thing. So I was shocked. I didn't know that could happen. Like, I'll just wake up and like 1,000 people had followed me, and that was just it.
But why does it, why, sorry to cut short, why does it happen? Like, people who don't really fancy this thing, like they don't really want it that much like that, and are the ones that get it.
I don't know. I really don't know why it feels like if you're not. That's why I said that, probably because I was prioritizing the right things. I just wanted to come and, you know, talk to people about God and things that I'm learning in my life. Not because I was looking for money, not because I was looking for fame. So I don't know what's going on in God's mind.
At the time?
No. I mean, I'm a Christian, so I know what's in God's mind. But, yeah, I don't know what was going on in God's mind as at that time. So maybe he thought that Praise can handle this, or
at the time,
maybe if Praise, if it feels like Praise is not prioritizing the wrong things, then maybe when I give her this, she'll be able to manage it well, or something like that. I don't know why it feels that way, but.
Wow,
who am I?
That's really amazing. For all of you that felt like maybe she did juju or something.
I did not, though. I know. What you did?
Wait, please tell us what you were doing that 1 month. So no, maybe some of us will go and do it.
That 1 month. Oh my God, I've never said this before. Only people on my WhatsApp, people that are close to me. Only, you know, I was ill. I was very ill. I did a major surgery.
Wow.
That time. That was why I wasn't. I didn't even know that I was going to do surgery. I didn't know that I was ill. That was why I was on a 1 month or 2 months break. So it wasn't like I went for any retreat or anything like that.
Wow.
I was ill, and you know, after my surgery, like I think 3 weeks after my surgery was when I made that Praise Is Back video, and you know, it just blew up.
Wow, amazing.
Yes, amazing. I didn't go for any retreat.
Amazing. So thank you for sharing that story. So this was the first place that you heard about I Praise story.
Yes.
Thank you. So why I asked you to share what you were doing in that 1 month is because I feel like there are some certain people out there who don't know what you were doing then. They didn't even know that you were healed. They didn't know you were going through a process that time. So some people would just feel like, oh, she was studying, she went to Ragabash.
I mean, these things are not bad if you need to do
No,
them.
Actually, it's not bad, to be honest, man.
Go ahead.
Now, I'm not painting it to be bad, so don't feel that way. I'm not painting it to be bad, I'm just trying to say the reasons why she actually went off for that time. And what I'm trying to draw out is the fact that you shouldn't be under pressure, to be honest, really. Like she said, she talked about priorities, setting your priorities right. So you shouldn't be under pressure to like do some certain things. You know, there's something very disturbing right now, right? Something really disturbing, especially with many upcoming content creators. This short attention span, and this I want to blow sharp, right? So it puts a lot of pressure and all of that. Sometimes I just used to wonder that why are you really putting pressure on yourself? I asked myself that question too one time, because real life story. Last year, I'll just use it as an example. I've not said this on camera before. Last year, I was I had a very down time one day like that. I think I was coming back from work. I was really tired. So somebody just sent me something. The person was like, oh, I just sent that, so. These are real life things that actually pressure people, to be honest. So I was like, I just sent that, so followers. Oh, Nicholas, did you see it? So when she told me, I was like, so
Okay.
what should I do? Because I was angry that day. I was like, so what should I do about it? I was like, how many followers is that? Just extra 2K. Something I'll do now. I'll buy it.
That's so.
Really? And I did.
You bought it?
I bought it.
Mad.
I'm serious. That was last year. I didn't tell my mentor. I know he question me after watching this.
Wow.
But I did. I bought it. That night.
Because of the girl told you?
Because of pressure.
Oh.
I was in a bad state. I was hungry for some reasons that day, right? And I just felt like, let me just do this, right? So that day, I just that night, another. I had my guy who had told me before that you can buy followers, you can do this. So I just waiting there, make I buy 2. I paid the money,
So
and
2,000.
I didn't have rest of mind, a peace of mind. I mean, I didn't have peace of mind. I was just there. Like the whole night, I couldn't sleep. My guy didn't even know I was not sleeping. Then early in the morning, when I said I was going to go and pray and all of that, just have my time with God and all of that, and he told me, he said, why do you believe that I can't place you in the place I want you to be? Why can't you follow my pace? I was like,
I'm sorry, can you remove those followers when you buy them?
yes, you can.
You
can.
Oh, that's cute.
So when he told me, I was like, oh, I was angry. I was this. I just said a lot of story, and he told me go and take all of them off, regardless of the money I paid already. I cried that night. I'm serious. I cried because I'd spent money already, right? So pressure pushed me.
Okay.
And I did it. I fell for it. So why I'm giving this example is because there are so many people out there, so many young folks out there, so many people who are starting up in the creative industry.
Yeah.
You're doing just well, to be honest.
And I would like to say this,
Yeah.
like, numbers are just numbers.
Numbers.
Just like people who say that age is just a number. Your number is not, your amount of followers would not determine your influence and the impact that you have on people. No this and no peace.
Yeah.
You can't, like, because I have 14,000 followers doesn't mean that someone that has 2,000 followers doesn't have more impact or influence than me. So, like, quit. Yes. Quit buying followers and stuff. And, like, I did not buy followers, so stop asking me my plug for followers. Let's just put that out there. So your numbers does not determine your influence.
Yeah.
Prioritize influencing and impacting people. Impact yourself. Then your numbers, they are just numbers. Just let's forget about numbers, please.
So like what's really significant, man, is really the impact you're putting out there. It's not really the numbers. The numbers will come eventually, but it shouldn't really be your priority. What should be your priority is the impact you're putting out there, you developing yourself. Those major things from the inward. Because if you don't build the inward man, I don't know how you're going to shine your light outwardly. You feel me? So yeah, I praise it was really nice having you here. Thank you for being on my seat. Thank you for being in Truth Be Told podcast. We hope to have you here again. Yes. Yeah. So for you guys who are just tuning into Truth Be Told podcast for the first time, man, I really appreciate you. Do well to subscribe. Click on the subscribe button and also click on the bell up there. And make sure that you always get the notification whenever you see it, right? Don't be the only person that hasn't subscribed to our YouTube channel where it's in your village, right?
And comment what stood out for you.
Actually.
Comment what stood out for you.
You should.
Yeah.
You should.
And the next content creator you like him to bring.
I like that. Yeah, please do that. It's really amazing. Don't worry. So thank you so much for tuning in. Really appreciate. Blessings.